Okay, everyone. For those who are new to the webinar, this is not the usual webinar. This is basically I wouldn't say it's an emergency webinar. It's just more of clarity for what needs to be done when we made the call for 60% up to 60% BTC allocation. So I hope everyone can hear me. I don't have much chat function, so I don't know whether you guys can see. I mean, I can't catch your question, so I think it's just about listening. Uh, Okay, so those who are tuning in, we made the call very specifically to have a BTC allocation of up to 60%. Now, there are going to be, you might want to mute your mic if for those who are, for those who are listening in. Okay, so for those who are planning to do this strategy, now, firstly, let me mention why do we anticipate 60%. So for those who are going to be in for the 60% BTC, right? Why do I recommend 60% BTC? Because we anticipate Bitcoin is going to continue its run for the year already. Okay, there seems to be zero reason for BTC to not continue its run. Now, to what extent and how much is the bull run going to be like, nobody knows, but I can clearly see that the money is starting to come back in. Now, the best case scenario would be a gradual increase and not a straight up bull run like what we had at the Q3, Q4. Okay, so this is something that we do not want, that will obliterate every single altcoin holding. No pick is going to be safe, okay, unless it's a pump and dump. All right, when you talk about fundamentally sound cryptocurrency, CG's picks are still fundamentally sound. No one is changing any kind of allocation. It's just for the fact that we're doing this from a strategic standpoint. Now, BTC, why do I say up to 60%? When BTC goes on a bull run, right, we are going to see all our altcoins die in terms of Satoshi, but we're going to see the USD value actually pick up. Okay, but nobody likes to see their portfolio having, say, 100 BTC dropping to 70 BTC. That means they lost 30 BTC, right? The other, this is one. The other angle is that you wait it out. Okay, the other angle is that you wait it out. If let's say you are not able to position yourself actively, you're working and whatnot, you feel that the levels are not favorable for you to exit out of your altcoin into BTC, then you have to just be waiting it out. Like for me, I bought Quantum at various price points, right? I have the 360,000 Satoshi mark, I have 300,000 Satoshi mark, I have 285,000 Satoshi mark. Basically, I don't care about what Bitcoin does to my quantum value, right? It doesn't matter to me because I know for the fact that at the end of the year, next year, quantum will deliver. That's me. But if you are unsure, you don't have to do the exact same thing, right? If you are unsure, what you need to do is, okay, those who participated in ICO, your cryptocurrency is doing well. It's not doing as well as it should right now, I'm sure. But if let's say, for example, it made money, you can actually exit out into BTC and fill up the allocation up to your comfort level. So your comfort level can be, maybe I want to hold 30% BTC. I want to have less altcoin allocation. I still like my altcoins, but I don't want to have so much. So you can exit up to a certain percentage, up to your comfort level. Can it be 30%? Of course, go ahead. It's up to you. Now, if you have heard what I mentioned already, right? That means you just have to go and decide, okay, this particular cryptocurrency is doing well, but you know, being that if you agree with my sentiment on the market, then you exit out to BTC, you take profit on your existing altcoins and get out. Now that's the best case scenario. Now what about those who are in a loss? Let's say you bought your altcoins on the higher side. From a Satoshi point of view, it's not doing so well. Now for those cryptocurrencies, unfortunately, it's more of just holding it, right? If it's basically those fundamentally sound coins, you don't have to worry. It's the same it's the same strategy or the same mentality as how you would approach quantum as well. Something like that. Okay, I'm not saying that you have to be in quantum. You can be in ICX, you can be in NEO, you can be in whatever other cryptocurrency that you feel the most comfortable in. Now, why 60%? BTC is clearly showing that it's showing some strength already. When it was at 6,000, it really recovered very, very quickly up to the 7,000, to the 8,000, 9,000, and now it's already at 10,000 10,000 BTC already, 10,000 USD to 10,500 per BTC. Now, if you are going to see, we are going to observe the level, guys. We are not sure of whether or not the BTC price will sustain at this level. Okay, we are not sure. But we need a few days to at least monitor, to even 1 week, to monitor where is the range. Okay, so a few strategies that you can apply. So I've already addressed the allocation part. It is up to 60%, not necessarily you have to die, liquidate everything you have and go into BTC. No, I did not say that. But for those who have fiat, that will be the most favorable. So if you have fiat and you are looking at a few levels in terms of the BTC and you agree with our sentiment, you can actually wait for the CG setups, because I think right now Andy, I'm not sure where is Andy. So, and because guys, it's the Chinese New Year, not everyone is as hardworking. So I'm not sure whether or not Andy is up and running already, but we will provide a few setups and few entry points based on the Fibonacci support levels, okay? And then you can queue accordingly, whether is it in your Gemini or is it in your Kraken or whatnot, okay? Whichever you prefer to use to enter your BTC, to enter your BTC levels. We want the whole group to make sure that they are fully capitalized in the event BTC starts running up 12,000. 14,000, 16,000, 20,000, at least we know we were well positioned and our altcoin exposure is minimal, and we want to kind of wait for BTC to be at the new high. And then once BTC is at a view that need to mute your mics, always there's a lot of background noise. Okay, so as I mentioned, there'll be quite a number of levels. From what I know from the top of my head, right? You're looking at anywhere from 8,005 to 9,000. That will be a very, very good support level, all right? But however, I don't really see it dipping that aggressively. So maybe from the 9,000 to the 10,000 level would be more favorable. That you can start picking up your BTC. Now, the best case scenario is recapitalizing your portfolio with fiat. But if you do not have, obviously you're going to have the painful strategy of exiting from all your altcoins, or at least a majority. Sorry. Wow, I better be very careful with my words. Not all your altcoins, but as in being very careful to exit a certain portion of your altcoins back into BTC. If you're in a loss, don't bother, right? Because the loss will be too great, because right now if BTC is beasting and you kind of bought it at a high, right? Then it will not be favorable for you. Other than that, everything is okay, guys. We're not like saying that we're not going to see a better 2018. To me, I think 2018 is still going to be a bullish year for cryptocurrencies. It's just that I don't want people to feel impatient, right? And then they feel, oh, you know, I don't want people to feel impatient. And then after that, they think that, oh, you know, you guys didn't come up with a strategy. We came up with a strategy way before. We just want people to understand the strategy and execute accurately. So this is something that I want to highlight, and the call is meant to address this strategy. Other than that, in terms of regulations and everything, you just let it play out. People are more bullish. You're talking about the hedge funds are more bullish. They are looking at entering into cryptocurrencies. But to what extent, how much, we don't have to care. I think the most important is that we try to understand what is the underlying fundamentals that are going to be happening at play at the moment. Okay, so what about Ethereum? Could you buy Ethereum instead of Bitcoin? No, because if you buy Ethereum instead of Bitcoin, right, Bitcoin is going to go on a bull run, and if Bitcoin is going to go on a bull run, Ethereum will be smashed as well. So let's stick to the one true grade that everybody knows about, rather than we go into Ethereum. As you can see, Ethereum is still a laggard in terms of price. in comparison to BTC. So you notice Ethereum is at $900. Initially, it was moving in tandem. Okay, both were moving in tandem. If you remember, at one point, BTC was about $850. Sorry, Bitcoin was at 8,500. Ethereum was at 850. You notice they were moving in tandem. When Bitcoin was at 9,500, so was Ethereum. Then after that, you started to see. I think everyone was. I think it was one of the premium members that posted a very big buy order of 19,000 BTC or something like that. Right? That was close to $1 billion. So obviously, someone of that size buying Bitcoin, knows something or is very confident about the market, and at least we know, okay, it's that price point is going to attract them, right? So the person was buying anywhere from 6,000 all the way up until about 9,000. So we can see 8,000 to 9,000 would be a good point for us to buy cryptocurrencies. Okay, so for that, sorry, not buy cryptocurrencies, buy Bitcoin. So for you, if you are saying, okay, what do I do now? Okay, what do I do now? You can wait for your situation, as in maybe you can wait for next week. Okay, this week you can kind of wait it out and see what happens, and then after that you move your altcoins gradually, right, when the levels are more favorable to Bitcoin. You don't have to execute like now. Okay, the reason why I'm coming out with this webinar is just to make sure that people understand the scenario, what needs to be done, and then after that gradually go and execute in stages. You don't have to exit and get everything out 60%, because I know how people react to news, man. They'll just hear the news and then after immediately they'll get in. So okay, so those who have questions, right, feel free to ask. Okay, I know that some came in late. Let's answer some questions.
Ryan,
so find the best. Find the best exit over the next few days. Yeah, find the best exit in the next few days. Yes, I think it was Kenny. Yes, you can do that. I'm not asking you guys to exit all of your altcoins. Listen, it's 60%. So meaning that your fiat will be anywhere from 10% to maybe say 20%, right? I don't expect a lot of people to have too much fiat. Then after that, you have your altcoins. Your altcoins will be say about 30%, right? Yeah, so it's around there. Okay, so BTC then, sorry, Hamza, you were about to say something?
No, I was just going to say, if I see any questions from Discord, I'll let you know.
Okay, thank you very much. Because I'm holding a mobile phone, guys, I don't have the full setup at the moment. Does the altcoins include F? Usually, no. Altcoins don't include F. Can you please recap for the people who came late? This is regarding portfolio allocation. Okay, so for those who need a recap, okay, for those who need a okay, wait. There's a, how do I see the questions, because it keeps disappearing. I think the most important is that you guys can hear me. Let's look through the questions. Suddenly beast, then there's nothing that we can do. Of course, the other flip side is that this whole thing was a very, very long ass dead cat bounce. That means it literally bounced up to 10,000 and then smashes back down to 6,000, which I kind of find which is quite unlikely. But when you look at the market cap, it does show that 500 billion is clearly not the current support. That we can clearly ascertain. Okay, BTC, okay, BTC, then alts or just hold positions. Jaden, I'm not sure what this exactly means. BTC, then alts or just hold position. No. What I was referring to, because everybody usually has some alts in their portfolio. So if you have altcoins that you would like to take profit from, okay, those that you cannot take profit from, obviously you don't go and cut, right? But I'm sure there are people who have had certain positions for quite some time or too much of a certain coin. You can consider having some of those positions exit and enter into Bitcoin, not into cash, into Bitcoin, all right? So when I say cash, we can use the term like interchangeably. We can say cash, we can say fiat, we can say USD, we can say euro. Okay, just use it interchangeably. Now, or just hold positions. For those who are in a loss, unfortunately, yes, we all hold our positions. I have certain quantums that are expensive. No way am I going to cash out, because like I said, I anticipate that quantum will deliver either Q2, Q3 or Q4. It doesn't matter. I know that eventually it will deliver. I'm okay with that. But you have to understand that I'm not sure about every single person's portfolio. If you didn't do your due diligence and research before buying, then you have to make sure that you clean up and tidy up your portfolio so that you understand what you have bought. Recap regarding the portfolio allocation. Okay, so in general, this is questions to Padana Anwar's question. Can you do a quick recap for the people that came in late? This is regarding portfolio allocation. For those who are interested in portfolio allocation, okay, I would say that right now it will be no more than 10 to 20, oh my god. Okay, there'll be no more than okay, there'll be no more than 10 to 20% fiat. Okay, we want to have up to 60%, 50 to even 60% BTC allocation favorably, and then the remainder, which is of course anywhere from 30 to 40%, will be in altcoins. This is, or roughly, we want to have maybe even 20% altcoins, which is a very, very little thing. But I know that a lot of people are heavy on altcoins. We did make the call to say we want to switch more aggressively up to 40% into altcoins just a week ago. But unfortunately, because I look at the current space, what happens is that if BTC goes beasting, that 40% will take a very, very big hit. Right? It could take a 20% hit, which is very unnecessary, and it will get a lot of people angsty. So I'd say go up to 50 to 60% BTC. Okay, when it comes to chart pairings and alt cycles, what have you noticed seasonally or in a BTC? Unfortunately, Ryan Otto, there is nothing that is seasonal about the current situation, because every time there's an announcement of a regulation and whatnot, it can be due to the traditional markets. We have yet to determine that, because only last year, which is not enough back data, 1 year does not predetermine the past performance, right? We have to at least have 3 years or 5 years of back data in order for us to determine if there is even a cycle. Okay, any chance that BTC will take a shit? Not. I would say it's more of profit taking, not a bad shit. Any stop losses? Well, wait. What is the stop losses with regards to? What I meant was my original F/BTC stack contains mostly F. So should I slowly move my F to BTC? Okay. Well, yes, you can do that if you have a lot of Ethereum. And if your Ethereum is making money against the BTC, that means you have to go and calculate in Satoshi. Yes, you might want to consider moving quite a bit over to BTC, because BTC seems to be on a bull run. At the moment, Vitalik came out with some shit saying that we should stick to traditional investments. So basically, he just wants to cool the market, right? And that was what happened. What factors make you think BTC won't go lower than 8,005, FA or TA? I would say FA and TA, both. I have a question from Discord. Yeah, okay, wait. Go ahead, Hamza. You can. Go ahead.
From Premier Chat, question is, if you already got Ether as profit, would you recommend going into BTC now?
Yes. If you have, sorry, the question is, if you already have profit from Ether, shall we go? Yeah, go ahead. Take the profit, move that profit over to BTC. Then it doesn't matter what price BTC is. Just use the profit and just get and accumulate as much BTC as possible with the profits, or you can even eat into some of that initial capital and move it a little bit of that initial capital, say maybe 20-30% of the initial capital plus the profit over to BTC. Okay. What about on a weekly or 24-hour basis? Any regular dips or correlations? Ryan Otto, I am not someone who does a lot of technical analysis, so maybe the technical and the technical side, like Charles and Andy, will be better equipped to be able to answer that.
Ryan, I've got a question for you. It's a common one. If you haven't got a lot of BTC or haven't got much BTC compared to your portfolio, would you recommend
Yes.
someone to get enough BTC to allocate it to get 60% of the portfolio to
That means with cash, I'm assuming,
with cash?
right?
Yes,
With
I
cash.
presume with cash, or
Yes, yes.
or would you rebalance their books, either selling off some alts as a loss to get that 60%, hoping to make the difference in that profit,
Mm,
or is that too risky for someone to do something like that?
if you actually, well, which is what I actually mentioned at the beginning of the call, right? If you have cash, that will be the most favorable, right? It's re-energizing your portfolio with the fiat. That's fine. That is completely fine. But as for the alts, that's a little bit of a tricky. That's a little bit tricky because we do not know what people's alts have, and sometimes most people, when they buy into an altcoin, they don't know the timeline of regards to announcement, because usually we anticipate that any kind of mainnet launch tends to have some anticipation. For example, Tron has a mainnet launch. Okay, okay. Let's not jump into Tron first. Let's talk about Kyber. Kyber had a very nice run up, as we all can agree, prior to the test pilot mainnet, right? After the test pilot mainnet, as you can see, everything dumped. Fair? Okay, now for Tron is a smart contract platform that has very, very strong partnerships with Obike, which is something that I actually highlighted yesterday. Obike, the Obike owner is called, I think, Jin or something like that. And basically, he is starting an ecosystem with the token called OCN. Okay, and he's also someone who has a successful advertising business as well. This is a very powerful thing, because when you have advertising, you control the influence of the market. And if Justin has that kind of friends, okay, we can clearly see that he's creating his own ecosystem. That means he might be challenging, he might be even challenging Quantum, or maybe just not say challenging, okay? Let's just say creating his own ecosystem with his own buddies, his own partnerships. So for that, Tron also has its value proposition. So Tron is a smart contract platform. Now I finally really watched the videos thoroughly, and I understand that he wants to create his own ecosystem and business partners. Once that happens, or at least slightly before that happens, you're going to see a strong run up. Now, how strong would also be determined on whether Bitcoin is smashing the gains, because we clearly saw that when Bitcoin is on a bull run, unfortunately, whatever supposedly nice news will all be hammered to shit. Okay, so let's just take one thing at a time. Let's not try to predict or anticipate. I'm just telling you the scenarios from based on experience. Okay, for coin, not that I remember that he has a coin burn. I kind of remembered it being mentioned, but I'm not too sure. Okay, now I'm up 40. Okay, I'm up 41 ETC plus 85% for 6 LTC. Small quantity, question, sell all. I have 3K fiat ready to go. Okay, OB crypto, you have 85% profit, and then you have 391% profit on LTC. Well, you should diversify some of those profits, or at least all of those profits, into Bitcoin. Because if you don't have any Bitcoin, you can kind of move your profits to BTC, right? Yeah, that's one way. Then after that, you have 3K fiat ready to go, right? The 3K fiat ready to go. Now, my next question to you is, how often do you have this 3K fiat available? If it's a good portion of, say, fiat, okay, I think someone in the chat in Discord mentioned fiat, if it's only 10%, that means you have already fulfilled your allocation. Keep that 10%, because right now we are not in a dip. The fiat is only like bullets when there's a proper strong dip. Okay, so we need to have that kind of ammunition available, right? And also, when there's a huge strong dip, when I say strong dip, means the whole market is dropping 30 to 40%. That is when your fiat will be the most useful. Don't use your fiat, right? That your already reserve supply of fiat to go and buy BTC or go and buy altcoins. Don't do that yet. Okay. If we are already anticipating an overall bull run, then let the bull run happen. When there is an opportunity to gradually cash out and build up your fiat, right? That means okay, this is the anticipation. Let me give you a scenario. Say, for example, Q1 is getting smashed. Q1 is the getting smashed. Q2, Q3, hopefully we see some sort of run up and then take profit. Run up, take profit. Let's say it's a quarterly thing. Okay, so every April, May, April. So let's say April, every June we will see some kind of correction in the overall market cap. Then we try to take profit from our existing altcoins or BTC into fiat, and then we gradually make sure we build enough fiat on that side as well. The fiat is just used for you to hit the market when, especially, we have what happened to us in the third week of January, something like that. Okay. Also, you can take the profit to your fiat. Okay, especially when you need to have some money in the bank. You cannot have everything in the crypto market, guys. Okay, so that is the strategy. Okay, wait. Hey Ryan, have you heard anything about co-vesting? I got in on an ICO and not sure if I should hold or not. Jaden, I have heard of co-vesting, but I have no idea exactly what the mechanism is, so I can't advise you. But I've heard of it. I mean, look, if it's an ICO, is it already listed, not listed? You know, you have to predetermine, right? Because like I said, everyone is now creating an ICO of some sorts. It will still be the case for the whole of 2018, right? Until regulations step in to make sure that people who are doing pooling, or these so-called like people like us, okay, we also have to do validation on our poolers. That means we have to do KYC for each and every one of you. That is the extent that is going to be in the future. Because if we are going to have to do pooling, we may even have to somewhat come under some kind of licensing or regulatory that allows us to do so. Because we are a registered company, guys. We're not like friends of friends all coming together and then, you know, putting it, because you're putting the risk solely under one individual. So let me give you all some perspective about pooling. Okay, ethical pooling. So for example, right now, if you are an American or you're from China, as you all know, most ICOs are denying Americans and people from China. Okay, suddenly you pool with Ryan. Ryan is a Singaporean. You must make sure that you're coming in, okay, you are coming in and having your funds with me, okay? You must make sure that you credit all your funds, your cryptos, with my address, because my address is going to be whitelisted, not just my identity, but my address. So first risk is, can you trust the pooler enough that he's going to make sure he's not going to run away with your money? Okay, if that is not a concern, that's okay. Second, the pooler, okay, if this is done on a private level, the person who is accepting your money doesn't give a shit, because from that perspective, I've already done my KYC on Ryan. Ryan is a Singaporean. He fits all criteria. He is AI. He is not an American citizen. He's not a PRC. Good to go. Okay, we accept his funds. He can pool. What after tokens are distributed to him, he wants to do whatever he wants. It's up to him. So it's only one point of failure. So let me be very, very clear. If you do pooling on this level, the risk is totally on you. And if one day that person just decides to do a scam on you guys, be very watchful, because it will happen. Okay. Now the next thing is, if it's going to be pooled under an entity, for example, Crypto Grinders Private Limited or Crypto Grinders Capital, right? Give you an example. We have to do KYC on the people who are participating, and of course, if it's AI, we have to make sure that these people declare AI. AI is accredited investor. Accredited investor basically means that you have an annual income of up to 300,000 or assets of 1 mil. It may or may not apply, because this is a very American thing, right? But this kind of thing is yet to be determined, because right now you don't have that. It's just that people are now covering themselves from a regulatory standpoint, so that you don't have SEC breathing down their necks, or some kind of financial regulatory breathing down their necks, because everybody wants to make money in the ICO space. This is a broker's brokers who are bringing investors to projects. This is what the ICO market is like right now. Okay, so just be very very aware. When you're doing pooling with other groups and everything like that. Invest in ICO should be no more than 10% of your overall portfolio. If those who are more aggressive, yeah, sure, you can go up to 20-30% if you feel it's your thing. You go ahead, right? But as in for CG, as you know, we're very very conservative. We'd rather you pool with projects that we are working on, or at least we already have strong connections to a particular individual or project. Like for example, Pundi-X. We did not pool until we really knew Zach inside out, as in whether he's that kind of guy, whether is he really going to deliver. These are the things, okay? No, you cannot just simply put Ryan. Of course, you can trust me, but I will never accept anyone's funds in bulk. It's not so simple, guys. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Okay, what ICOs are we pulling for? Okay, ICOs that we are pulling for, right? Okay, give us some time. We are working on a few projects that are planning to ICO, but we need to make sure that they have their shit together before we even propose it to the team. Now, as you all know, we do ICO advisory. If we do ICO advisory, it also means that we cannot be biased, right? We are advisors, we cannot be biased. We will put the project in front of you when the project is ready. If you all like it, you all express interest, great. We will pull for it. If we put it in front of you, no one likes it, that's fine as well. Because you guys, at the end of the day, are our investors, our members. We have to also protect your best interest as well. We are not obligated to pull for any of these projects. We are just giving them advice on how to structure their ICO so that they are good to go in the public market, right? Also, we also do the seed round or angel investor round if we have to with fiat customers. There's nothing to do with you all. Okay, so you don't have to worry. We are always making sure that we are keeping this kind of high due diligence for everybody. Because firstly, like I said, Crypto Grinders is already a registered entity in Singapore. We don't want to mess that up. We are here to stay, so we must make sure that if MAS, which is the Monetary Authority of Singapore, somehow comes up with a framework that will regulate companies like myself, right? I will have to comply. This is just the way it is. Okay, no, I did not. I mentioned that, Jaden, I do not know anything about co-vesting. What are your thoughts on 4P? I am still bullish on 4P, Ari Leo, right? For 4P, I'm still bullish. I still am very much going to be gradually accumulating 4P. But of course, like I said, let's stick to the BTC strategy first. Don't talk about any kind of altcoins out there under the sun first. As you can see, those who actually exited from their 4P positions are now very, very happy because 4P is no longer at the high of the high. If BTC starts beasting, the people who came in late will cut loss, and you might even see 4P at around 180 to even $2. That will be the most favorable price point. Okay, any questions? Let's see. Any other questions, guys?
Ryan, I got a question from Discord.
Sure.
Question was asked: do we sell Pundi-X? There's two.
Pundi-X. Okay. Look, Pundi-X has not even bear fruit yet. You selling right now is not the best. Really, it's not the best. Okay, let's give you a lead time. We had from ICO till now. Also, there's the Chinese New Year. Unfortunately, it's not the best period, right? Everything is slowed down. So your holding an ICO usually can be around 6 months, right? 6 months to get listed. Also, everyone wants to be listed on a credible exchange. So Pundi-X will want to also plan to raise funds to be listed on credible exchanges. So they're working on it right now. When it happens, we will all be informed, and then from then you can make a decision what you feel like doing, whether you want to dump it, whether you want to hold on for it, which I strongly suggest that you do hold on. I'm not being biased here just because I know Zach. I mean, look, the whole CG team, as in the ones who have worked with him, knows Zach. But if you don't give something time to fruit, you're going to buy it back later, right? You're going to be buying it back later more expensive when you clearly had it cheap. So try not to do that to yourself, right? But of course, if it goes parabolic in the moment it lists and you have some opportunity to cash out your initial capital, go ahead. There is a question. Wait, let me see. What is the question? Wait, I saw a question. Ryan, do you have any personal thoughts on Bitcoin private fork? Don't think you've ever mentioned it. The Bitcoin private fork. Is there some kind of Bitcoin private fork?
Yes, it's with the Z Classic. Why Z Classic is booming?
Because of that, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. Same old, right? We've been through all this before. Yeah. It's somewhat like a Bitcoin Cash. So what about it? Okay, so maybe I should ask you guys. So what about it?
I'll speak a little bit about it because I've been in the trade myself. It came from the Legacy group, and the way I got told is, and the way it's been put to me, it's just another same old opportunity to make probably a good trade up flip in leading up to the snapshot. So normally, from my experience, what I've done before in the past is I would normally sell a day or 2 days prior before the snapshot, all of it. So I don't normally hold it for the forks because if you don't time it right, you always have the bad experience of having everyone dump on you, and by the time you try to get out, it's too late, and then the gains ain't as substantial as they were to the lead up. So if you are looking to get into a trade like Z Classic for the fork, and there is nothing tying me for Bitcoin private, then always take as much as gains and profit you can the earliest possible. If you don't want the free, if you don't want the fork or the coins, that's pretty much the experiences we've seen, and that's the way I'm playing the Z Classic trade as such.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, look, it works. I'm sure usually if the anticipation of a particular fork is that big, usually there will be a strong run up. I assume that you're referring to Z Classic in particular. That means people who want to ride on this momentum have to go and buy Z Classic. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes.
Okay. So what? It's gonna become what, like a
it's cheaper
privacy feature, or
you get Bitcoin? It's a Bitcoin fork, so you get Bitcoin private fork, which is going to be just another private, like another Monero for Bitcoin, basically. Just private function Bitcoin, same old. Nothing really special to me, unless I understood it. If someone else in here.
No. Usually, most of the time, this kind of stuff is just basically one team representing another team and saying that they're going to build another better privacy protocol and whatnot, right?
Yeah,
I assume it's like that.
Yeah.
Okay. And also, obviously, the team would have some certain kind of credential or credibility to drive that kind of momentum. Okay. Yes. Right. If you feel like doing that, no, same old, not same old. Same old, man. Right. Yeah. Not same old. Yes. Okay. So right. So guys, it's okay. Like I said, stick to the strategy. I understand that everybody has their favorite altcoin, ICX and whatnot. Okay. Everybody will want to make sure that they are invested in some kind of infrastructure and take a bet on it. It's just like a horse, right? It's just like a horse, and if it comes out of the gate swinging, great. If it doesn't, you might want to give it some time to go through a few more races, and then after that, go into it. So you don't have to worry. Right now, let's say you are someone who is in Icon, it seems to have good traction, as what I've been reading. A good traction, a dedicated team. Give them some time, right? They just had their mainnet, I think in January or something like that, or maybe last year. Okay, give them some time. It's just like the same if you were to invest in Quantum, they need some time. Could potentially what do you call ICX boom? Yes, they can, because their appeal in Korea could be very, very strong. Yeah. All right. So this is something that you can consider. Okay. Other than that, I think, guys, I have made my strategy very, very clear. Don't want to keep you guys too long, especially I think there are some people who are working, and also it's a little bit on the early morning in London, I think.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you mean? It's work.
No, but
Thank.
how did they know that?
And Europe, actually.
Because I'm in the call.
Okay. So okay, guys, that is all for today. Have a good day and cheers.
Fuck, it just ended.